Hi everyone. I know you're there. I'm just gonna let this run for a little bit and allow a couple people to get a chance to catch up, even though it is a pre-recorded video because I can't go live anymore until I reach eligibility. I still want everybody to kind of have a chance to catch on. I'm gonna sit next to the window. Let's see if I can do this balance-wise. If anybody needs one of these wonderful snaky lights on the go, I got them on my website. I will put the link below. Excuse my messy room. I have to spray some. Close the windows because I don't want people being nosy, but it's so stuffy in here. I got the windows open because of the laundry and whatnot. Okay, I don't want to get caught up babbling. I sometimes will do. But I am Edwina Oliver. For those of you who do not know me, welcome. I'm glad that whatever I wrote hit you. Today I really want to talk about vaccinations, the new bill that has been passed, how we're voting, and kind of like our stance and our responsibility as parents. I'm 39 years old. I have a 17, I almost said, a 19-year-old son. I have a boy-girl twins who are almost 2, and I have an almost 9-month-old son. So I'm a mom with a variety and a vast, I have 4 kids and they're all ages. So I was a single mom for 17 years, and raising my son back then, I mean, I'm gonna tell you, I didn't really have to worry about what was in the formula, what was in the baby food, never even crossed my mind. This is back in 1999, okay? So in 99, we were getting ready for the millennium to come. And you know, that New Year's Eve, I had my son in December, on December 12th, and that year, 99, would be the last year of the 90s, where we'd move into the 2000s. There was supposed to be a huge data fucking crash. There was supposed to be all this stuff that happened because now we're in the future. Nothing happened. All that happened was while we all stayed very distracted. Sorry, I have not made my bed. Trying not to be all up on it, but totally haven't made it. Way too busy. But I do want to get to it. I've been trying to instead just get myself up and dressed. So any stay-at-home mom is going to relate to the importance of getting up, taking a shower, putting makeup on, working out for yourself, really taking that time, even if it means you got to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. That's what I've been doing. Even with that being said, I still don't have time to get everything in order that's supposed to be getting in order. I even hate having the mess that is behind me in the view. I'm a perfectionist, can't do it. Okay, real quick, back to what I was saying. Didn't have to worry about the foods. So basically, as we all were distracted on other things, the millennial coming and whatever, we allowed ourselves to kind of get taken over. Meaning GMOs were being put in our food. Nobody even knew what this was. And we had to be careful what we asked for, because if we say it enough, we're going to create a demand for it. So something as simple as, ew, it looks like a worm crawled through my apple, help create genetically modified food. Because it seemed like the demand was that people didn't want to see bugs in their food that they were buying from the store. Because I think there was an illusion built while you have all these perfect oranges and apples. I'll go into Safeway later and take a little scan of their produce department, and then we'll go into Whole Foods, and we'll go into Walmart, because those are 3 around me. We'll even go to Trader Joe's. I don't like Trader Joe's. They got a lot of fruit fly situation going on. So, with that being said, we had pesticides put into our foods. Now the world is sick. You know, at least the Americans are sick. And we're all trying to get back to nature. Not a lot of people grow their own food. This is a problem, guys. This is a problem. Not a lot of us grow our own food. With that being said, I'm going to move quickly into the vaccinations. A lot of us are saying, oh, okay, I see you're putting this and aluminum and this and that, and I don't want to put that in my children. However, you're feeding them shit. So what are we fighting? Is it all just to be distracted? Or do we have a legit fight? You know what I mean? For me, when I say I don't want to give my kids vaccinations, sorry, I'm a nosy neighbor. I don't want to give my kids vaccinations. That means I'm not with the fucking system. I'm not with the system. I'm not with the system that told me what I need to do when I'm pregnant, and I'm not with the system that tells my kids what vaccinations they need to have, or indoctrinate my kids into a school program that does not feed their soul. It will not help them achieve their soul purpose. I'm gonna let you sit on that for a second. When I say soul purpose, my son, my older son, at sophomore year was showing signs that high school, this was going to be a battle. I was going to have to work really hard to keep him stimulated. He's very smart. He reads a lot. He's constantly learning. He is technically smart. I mean, hands down, the kid is gifted. I mean, anything that he puts his mind to, he can do. He started doing magic at about 12. By 16, he was getting paid for street magic. I mean, the kid is brilliant. And I was trying to force college on him so hard. I even went back as an adult, accumulated a $17,000 debt. And it did not advance me in my career at all. As a matter of fact, it was damaging. Because before I went back to school, I had started doing pleasure parties. And boy, was I successful at it. And I should have stayed at it. And instead, I decided, I need to make sure I have a good job. So I went and got another hourly job. This proved to be ridiculous because slowly things kind of deteriorated and fell apart financially because I was working an hourly job that just did not match the demand for how would it cost to live in the Bay Area, in the Northern Bay Area, California, as a matter of fact. So with that being said, I noticed a lot of people, they just don't even get it. They're stuck in this, like, I gotta go to my job. But see, this is the thing. And it's, the economy is going to crash. I'm sorry. Look at our president. Just, if you don't think it's going to happen, looking at his ass, it's going to devastate you if you don't start to plan today. The majority of Californians, all renters. Sorry, I get caught up. I've got a couple neighbors that are hoarders and just filthy living. You know, we're in a kind of like duplex of townhouses. Let me show you what you look at outside your bedroom window. I don't know if you could see. Mini garages out there. The kids, not much anymore, were playing dodgeball and handball against my garage. I had to call the police. You know, talk to the parents a million times to no result, which is part of the other problem because I've got 3 kids. The neighbors have 3 kids. These guys have 2 kids. They have 1 kid. These are 2-bedroom places. So my babies are babies in cribs. These other kids are kids who will be teens before we know it. And they're allowed to lurk, and, you know, before we put our gate up, they were coming in up to my front door, and it wasn't cool. So, everybody's got a real problem with the trash, getting the garbage in the trash can, and what to throw away and what not to throw away. There's some things you have to take. I mean, and if you're a homeowner, you know you're not going to be putting exercise equipment next to your 2 garbage cans for garbage day, because most likely, unless you've scheduled an extra pickup, the exercise equipment will be left on the side, curb, right where you left it. The garbage man not gonna pick it up. That's not how it works. So people just don't have concept. I mean, we had a Christmas tree out there for about 6 months after Christmas. It's fire season, but we have a pine tree that's just dead. It was dead before they even put it out. They had the audacity to put it out on the curb. It was already January 26th. You missed the boat. And this two-faced son of a jackal parks right in front of our garage damn near. So he can back up. I just hate how close they are to... This is enough motivation for me, just with a little bit of bullshit that I just spouted out with them moving around out there, to get the fuck out of the current situation. You know what I'm saying to you? What is it that will motivate you to really snap the fuck out of it and change your current situation if it's not one that serves you best? It's not you doing your slow work. It's not you making enough income for you and your family to survive without struggle, you know? I lived in an apartment, was my first, when I moved out of my mom's house, I lived in an apartment. That was it. Then we as a family lived in a condo in Bahia in Nevada. I had neighbors on just one sharing a wall. We never heard them, these people. Anyway, they park, she's gotta like back up and like potentially hit like 4 different garages. I just made it for the road. It's so weird. It's so weird. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Yikes. Anyways, what motivates you to get out of your current situation and start doing something fucking different? You know what I'm saying? I know that I'm not the type of person that can live in an apartment or a condo, or even in a neighborhood for that matter. Truth be fucking told, I don't want my neighbors to bother me. I don't want anybody to come fucking knocking at the door talking about I'm so-and-so. I don't give a fuck. I like to smoke my weed. I like to be left the fuck alone. I like to keep to myself. Occasionally I will play some music. Otherwise, you won't know what the hell I'm doing, ever. That's the type of neighbor I am. My children will not be bothering you. You will not hear my children. You may see them playing, but not in the street or on your lawn or in your vicinity or in the street for that matter. You will never worry about my children. You won't have to worry about mine. I will make that a personal problem. I will make it mine. As people are like, oh, you kids should be able to go outside and play. Absolutely, but we are not in the time or age where you would let your children be outside by themselves. So we were looking at places to buy in Roanoke Park when we first moved back home from Indiana. We were kind of looking at condos, more condos, because that's what we moved into, and, you know, wanted to see what else is out there, and, you know, I kept it in mind. But then I saw all of the living situations, how the backyards were, how everybody was looking into everybody's fucking spot. There was no privacy. Each condominium complex just added more people to your situation. Some of the complexes that had lower HOAs had a lot more people. That means in your backyard you had like a fence that had like 4, you could see right through. The fence was 2 feet tall. No thanks. Everybody had grass that was way high, wood that was way rotten decks, rotten roofs, bee problems. I mean, shit show. Hoarders, previously hoarding. All the places were filthy, filthy, filthy. Even if they were emptied, they were filthy. The realtor still was showing them. This is dirty as can be. Each place I saw, I kind of was like, I would have to gut this. I would have to gut this. Like, the baseboards have never been cleaned. Like, I don't want this. Ugh, you know? Start thinking to myself, why? And these places were not cheap. 800,000, you know, people trying to get 800 grand for 2-bedroom townhouses with crazy HOAs and no swimming pools. So I started doing my research and I really started looking around Roanoke Park, and I wanted to see what the crimes were in some of these neighborhoods. And you know, people look sketchy and look like they're doing something they shouldn't be doing. Well, then I looked at the pedophile list. You know, you ever look at those before you purchase or go to move into a neighborhood? We are surrounded. Everyone in Roanoke Park is surrounded by pedophiles. They are all registered in Roanoke Park, seems like. I mean, good 20 per couple neighborhoods. Roanoke Park is a big spot where you can have rentals, and a lot of people rent rooms. There are pedophiles next to schools, close enough to schools, and in the community. So they're at the parks. They're lurking every fucking where. And I don't take my kids out. I don't go to the parks, because every time I've gone to the park here in Roanoke Park, I mean, I've at first been blind by ignorance, and then I start seeing the dirtiness that is there. They got a homeless problem too, like everybody else. And the homeless defecate in the park. I don't know if it's kind of like a FU or what the case may be, but they do. And once I see shit, that's it. I mean, now we're on a whole other level of disgust, and I don't live that way. So my kids have never been sick in their years. I don't intend on letting them become ill from nasty shit. So, with that being said, I know I babble on forever. I just really want people to wake up and to realize that the economy is going to break. And some of your landlords may be on their last leg. So if you're not in a position to buy now, start getting in a position to buy. Start cleaning your credit. This is a very simple thing to do.